I'm standing today because I sit way too much and have the posture of a gremlin. It's good to have you here. Let's get into the league news. First up today, we've got a couple of ranked updates. From the Twitter of Froxon, the Riot gameplay lead, comes this announcement to help further combat botted accounts and also Smurf accounts. Even after leveling to 30, I think it is, players will need to undergo a minimum of 10 Summoners Rift League games to be able to play ranked. This is due to the majority, if not all, Smurf accounts being leveled in bot games or ARAMs. In extension of this, because this literally already exists, Riot will be monitoring those 10 games to avoid placement abusing. For a fairly long time, your normal games have been tracked, and this has a correlation to what your games will be like in your ranked placements. So in short, if you suck at normals, your ranked placements will be in lower tiers. Think below gold. But if you consistently perform well in normals, your ranked placements will be in the higher games. Think Platinum Plus. So with this change, Riot is preemptively acting against people running those 10 games down to get in lower and therefore easier to win placement matches. This is actually really good foresight from Riot. Oh, and also with the rank changes, they're making it so you can't decline matches as much anymore. If you decline 2 queues, it'll trigger a timed queue lockout, and after 1 decline, you'll get a warning about it. They say it's because people are kind of abusing the decline mechanic, however that works. I think this is fine. If you queue up, you should kind of already be ready to play, and they even said in this statement that they understand real life happens, which is why you can still decline, but just make sure you get out of queue if something does come up. Moving on, Swain is in the rework scope. From League of Leaks, we have this summary of goals Riot will be trying to achieve with his rework. It looks like they're trying to give him a bit more versatility instead of being pigeonholed into the long duration teamfight Drain Mage class that he specializes in at the moment. They want to make him less reliant on Rylai's, stronger in skirmishes, and shifting his support identity to Emacs. I think all these changes sound great because in my experience, Swain is either solo winning teamfights or the most useful champ ever. So I'm excited to see what versatility they can bring out with this rework. Up next, there's been a bit of controversy in the grand finals between Team MCon and Team Myth of ES LoL Summer 2024. In a 5-game series with MCon leading 2-1, a Myth player disconnected due to a hardware failure. That is, his PC or monitor or keyboard or something went wrong, something of the physical nature. Following this, the referee mistakenly kept the game going, which goes against even the official rules saying the game should have been stopped, but that ultimately gave MCon the series victory. ES LoL has also taken no responsibility and even went as far as blaming the players for listening to the referee in what was ultimately an incorrect call. On your screen now is Myth's response to the whole incident, blaming the mishandling by ES LoL and saying the hardware failure cost them a game which was actually in Myth's favor, which could have meant the game took them to a game 5. The whole split as well, Myth was outperforming MCon and they were slated as the favorites going into the finals, so who knows what would have happened. Myth said in this statement, our players were unfairly blamed for accepting to continue the game after being told by the referee that there was no fair solution available, which is just crazy. So even though MCon was awarded the victory, there'll forever be a heavy asterisk next to it, and honestly, Myth really got shafted here because this definitely should have been a chrono break. I also want to shout out Donnie on Twitter who tagged me in this because I wouldn't have seen it otherwise. So like Donnie, if you guys see something that you think would fit in the show, be sure to let me know and I'll probably use it, honestly. Up next is something I'd love to share because I've seen a ton of people playing Bloons lately and I think this whole concept is so sick and I'm honestly surprised I don't see more of this kind of thing. From the mind of Rolo Sorio, sorry if I mispronounced that, on Reddit comes this Bloons Tower Defense 6 mod transforming minions into little balloons. And the more I think about it, League is actually kind of like a really convoluted, complex tower defense game, just with 9 other players that will do anything they can to prevent you from winning. Check out the footage. As I said before, I think minion packs need to be official because I'd love to see more minion skins, as I'm sure a lot of us would. Maybe even turning them into colored poros or something, I don't know. Rolo has stated that it is a work in progress, so if you'd like to give your input or feedback to the mod, the Reddit link will be in the description as always. And speaking of sharing things, I need to share this dude's talent because this is just unparalleled. Coming from the well-known Captain Flowers is this incredible casting clip where he casts 2 fights simultaneously on opposite sides of the map in the LCS. Just check this out.
Yawn and Core continuing their disengage as the heal is used. Nice deadly flourish from Yawn to lock up Tactical, who's down to 100 HP. And Ole's got to try to keep him protected here. Meanwhile, topside, that's going to be a 2v2 up there as well. Ole knocked up into the air while the stun on Castle coming out from Impact here with a slicing. Maelstrom might turn into a kill. Ole going to sidestep Deadly Flourish here in the bottom lane at the same time as Impact misses that Shuriken. Castle gets away back underneath the Turbine and Tactical, and Ole going to be doing the same thing. Team Liquid made 2 moves in 2 places.
It's actually so insane to me that his mental processes can work this way, and the speed and clarity in which he speaks while trying to process what's actually happening on the screen is like really nuts. This dude has to have a whole extra hemisphere in his brain, I swear. And on to the main and last topic of the day, saving best to last, we have the reveal of Worlds 2023 winners T1 skins. On your screen is each design, including a leaked splash art, which I thought were fine, I guess, until I read the amount of work and detail that went into each skin, and it really made me appreciate them more and not just view them as a cash grab. On your screen is the design concept, saying it was based around 4 gods and the return of the king with Korean color elements because the tournament was played and won in Korea. It also reflects each player's relationship with overcoming adversity to win worlds after tragically losing to DRX in 2022. For Zeus's Jace, it features lightning in the particles and animations as requested, while giving the prestige version, the one he got for winning MVP, the MVP cup instead of the world's trophy in the recall. I also have to say, I actually really do like the prestige version. The black and yellow is really sick, or black and gold. Owner's Lee Sin gives a nod to his past as a martial artist, as well as making his Lee Sin tiger themed, showing scratches on the chest and tiger characteristics in the particles. The recall, which is my favorite part, features the Spider-Man meme, the pointing meme, with Bengi's T1 Lee Sin from his 2013 win in the recall as well. This was also in part a show of respect to Bengi, who was a T1 head coach until July of 2023 also. Faker's Orianna represents a story of an AI in human form as Faker requested. Not sure if this symbolizes some kind of league robot like Faker is, but that would be a really cool touch. Across basically all of the particles, the theme of 4 is used to represent Faker's 4 world championships. At the end of her recall, she sits and poses, representing Faker on the throne with his "all roads lead to me" quote. Guma's Jinx is based on his pet dog Dungi, as we see in her recall. There is an acknowledgement that this skin does look like Star Guardian Jinx, but I'm not really sure why. They didn't say anything about it. Her tiara has a red star symbolic of the win. And lastly, and my personal favorite, Keria's Bard. In this skin, Bard is meant to look like a rabbit, which is, quote, the concept of Bard being a divine being in the LoL worldview, and it's connected to the rabbit and moon in Korean folklore. The rabbit also symbolizes New Jeans, the Korean girl group that Keria is a huge fan of. His W also plays a folk song as the heel grows, which is such a cool touch. And the last and best part, and one of my favorite league recalls ever, features Battle Academia Lux. I love little lore tie-ins. So earlier in the tournament, Keria had used this skin specifically on Lux, but couldn't use Lux in the actual finals, which means she couldn't be picked for his skin, which he expressed great disdain for. To compensate, Battle Academia Lux is shown crying in the recall before Bard pats her on the head and they lift the world's trophy together. So cool, and I'm sure Keria loved it. As I said before, I think these skins look okay, but the details really highlight how much the skins team cared in capturing what the players wanted and incorporating small details of each player into particles and effects. In summarizing the goals for the skins, the team said that they met around 90% of the things that the players asked for. Obviously, Riot has their own constraints that they have to abide by, so that 10% must have gotten missed. They also met with the players in person to discuss the skins and worked with them up until around last month, where they began the completion process. They said Keria had the most trouble deciding, but really wanted to get it right, and he even attended other players' skin meetings to get ideas. They also said, and this is kind of funny, that Faker had kind of had enough with skin design, because not only is this his 4th world skin, he was also doing the immortalized $500 Ahri skin for his Hall of Legends induction at the time. They said, quote, "We gave him enough guidelines and then we asked him for creative ideas, but after working on several skins, he ended up saying, quote, I think my creative part is done. It's inevitable when you go through this kind of process." Dude's literally suffering from success, having to design so many of his own league skins. Anyway, do you like them? Let me know your thoughts on the skins in the comments below, and with that, we'll wrap up today's video. If you enjoy this type of league news content, consider subscribing. It really helps the channel out, and you can always change your mind later. But of course, your view means more to me than anything, and just thanks for being here as always. We'll see you guys in a news video very, very soon, and good luck in your solo queue for the week. Bye!